There was a girl who was waiting for her father to pick her up from her mother's house. She had been living with her mom for 2 years, but she still remembered what it felt like to be in her dad's arms. So every time he came to pick her up, she would run to the door and wait for him. She knew that he had just gotten off work and soon he'd be there. One day, though, the girl waited and waited, but her dad never came. The next day she waited again, but he still didn't show up. This went on for many days, and the girl started getting worried. Where could her dad be? Was he on his way? Had he forgotten about her? When her mom saw how upset her daughter was, she couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy. Although she knew that she had done something terrible by taking the girl away from her dad, she had to admit that it hurt her to see her like this. Still, even though she felt guilty, she wasn't going to let herself get taken advantage of by her ex-husband. Meanwhile, the girl stayed by the window, watching the road, hoping to see her dad's car. However, the only thing she saw were other cars driving by. And then one day, when the girl was feeling a little less hopeful than usual, she saw a black car driving slowly down the street. As it approached her house, she started waving her arms frantically. "Dad, is that you?" She shouted, but he didn't respond. When the car stopped in front of the house, she opened the door and found her dad inside. He looked different, older, with more lines on his face. "Dad!" the girl cried out and threw herself into his arms. But he pushed her away. "Who are you?" he asked. Startled by his reaction, the girl stepped back. "It's me," she said. "Your daughter?" At those words, her dad's face went pale. He got out of the car and asked, "Are you really my daughter?" "Of course I am," she said. "Don't you recognize me?" Then he took a closer look at her and said, "Oh, you're the daughter I haven't seen for 2 years. I didn't know you were here." The girl's mom came to the door after hearing their conversation. "Why are you here?" she asked, glaring at her ex-husband. "I came to pick up my daughter," he said. "She's my daughter, too." "Oh, so you want to take her away from me?" she asked angrily. "You don't have the right to do that. We're divorced. I'm her mother. That doesn't matter. She wants to live with her father, not her mother." With that, she turned to the girl and asked, "Is that true? Do you want to come with me, honey?" The girl hesitated. She wanted to go with her dad, but she also loved her mom. It was hard to choose between them. Seeing her struggling, her dad said, "Don't worry, sweetheart. You can stay with me. Or if you want to stay with your mom, that's fine too. It's up to you." She thought for a moment. On the one hand, she missed her dad and wanted to be with him. But on the other hand, she had been living with her mom for 2 years and had grown accustomed to it. She had friends there and a comfortable bed. Most importantly, her mom was very nice to her. Even though her dad had never been mean to her, she had heard him shouting a lot lately, and she didn't want to make things worse. So she decided to stay with her mom. But just as she was about to say that, her dad said something that made her stop. "If you stay with her, I won't be able to see you anymore." Hearing that, the girl immediately regretted her decision. She did want to live with her mom, but she also wanted to see her dad. Maybe there was a way for both of them to be happy. "Mom, can't we all live together?" she asked. Her mom and dad were both taken aback by the question. They had never thought of that before. Her mom was the first to recover from the shock. "No, I don't think that's a good idea. Why would we do that?" she said. "Because I want to live with both of you," the girl replied. "What?" her dad and mom said in unison. For a moment, neither of them said anything. They both knew that they would have to make a big decision. Finally, her dad spoke up. "We'll need to talk about this," he said to his ex-wife. Then he turned to the girl and said, "Why don't you go play outside for a bit? I'll be in the house if you need me." "Okay, Dad," the girl replied and ran out the door. As soon as she left, her dad turned to his ex-wife and said, "Are you sure you won't let us live together?" "Yes, I'm sure. Why would I do that? She said, because I want to be with my daughter, and I think you know that, he said. I know what? She asked. That you don't want me to take her away from you, he said. Why would I want that? I'm her mother, she replied. He stood up and walked over to the window. Looking out at the yard where his daughter was playing, he said, Then why haven't you let me see her these past 2 years? Because I didn't trust you, she said. Why not? Because you've been seeing someone else, and I didn't want you to take my daughter away from me. I'm not seeing anyone, he said. And even if I were, that wouldn't give you the right to keep my daughter away from me. So you want to take her away now? She asked. I never wanted to take her away from you, he said. And why did you move away without telling me? She asked. Because I couldn't stand living with you anymore, he said. Oh, so you just decided to move away without telling me or anyone else, she said. Yes, I did. At that point, the conversation had come to an end, and there was nothing more for them to say to each other. Her dad sighed and said, Well, I guess this is goodbye then. He turned to leave, but her mom stopped him. Wait, I'll let you see her, but only if you promise not to take her away from me. I promise, he said. After her dad left, the girl went back inside and asked her mom, Can Dad stay here with us? Her mom hugged her tightly. Of course he can, honey, she said. I'm so happy. Then she went to the phone and called her dad. Come back here, honey, she said. We're going to make dinner together. And so the three of them started cooking dinner together. They talked about how they had been doing and caught up on everything they had missed. The girl was so happy that her dad was finally back. He had brought her so much joy when he was there. From that day on, the three of them became a family once again. They lived in a small house, but it was filled with love and laughter. The girl was especially happy because she no longer had to choose between her mom and dad. Now she could call both of them her own.